You've seen it happen. A meeting, a classroom, a debate, a moment where the group must decide, and instead of choosing the wisest, most moral, or most reasonable option, they follow the one who speaks the loudest. It doesn't matter if that voice is correct. It doesn't matter if that voice is honest. What matters is that it's loud, confident, unwavering. And here's the uncomfortable truth. This isn't just other people. This is you. This is me. Every one of us is more influenced by the loudest voice than we'd like to admit. And if you think you're immune, that belief might be the first sign you're not. Plato saw this pattern more than 2,000 years ago. He understood that in politics, in communities, even in personal relationships, people mistake volume for strength and certainty for truth. Why? Because most of us would rather feel safe than be right. And in moments of uncertainty, a loud voice feels safe. Picture this. You're lost in a dense forest with a group of strangers. The sun is setting. No one knows the way back. One person suddenly shouts, "Follow me, I know the way." Even though they don't, another quietly says, "I think I know a path, but I'm not entirely sure." Which one do most people follow? The loud one. Not because it's rational, but because fear doesn't crave accuracy. Fear craves certainty. We like to believe we're rational individuals. We're not. We are social creatures with a herd instinct baked into our survival. Psychologists call it social proof. When many people seem to agree, we assume they must be right, even if they aren't. Plato didn't use those words, but in the Republic, he described this exact weakness. He warned that in a democracy without wisdom, power doesn't go to the one with the best ideas. It goes to the one who can manipulate public opinion. And the easiest way to do that is to speak with absolute confidence, never show doubt, and repeat your message until the crowd stops questioning it. Here's the danger. The loudest voices are often the most certain, not the most intelligent. Certainty is intoxicating. For both the speaker and the listener, its silence is doubt. It creates the illusion of clarity. It feels like the truth, even when it's built on lies. Think about the last argument you witnessed online or in person. Did the group rally behind the one with the most evidence, or the one who sounded most sure of themselves? Plato saw this as one of democracy's fatal flaws. It rewards performance over wisdom. The crowd, desperate for direction, hands power to the best actor. In ancient Athens, this wasn't just theory, it was life and death. During the Peloponnesian War, the assembly was swayed by charismatic demagogues who promised quick victories and easy solutions. One loud voice could turn the tide toward war, toward exile, toward executions. The philosopher Thucydides recorded how the speeches that won the loudest applause often led to the most disastrous outcomes. And Plato, watching it all, realized that a society without deep critical thinking would always be vulnerable to the one who could speak the boldest lie with the straightest face. The most personal example for him was the trial of Socrates. His teacher, the man who taught him to question everything, was sentenced to death, in part because the loudest voices convinced the public he was a danger. It wasn't the truth that killed Socrates, it was volume. You might think we've outgrown this, that we're more informed now. But look at our world today. In politics, the loudest candidates dominate headlines. In the media, the most sensational stories travel fastest. On social platforms, algorithms reward outrage over accuracy, sound bites over substance. The loudest voice wins because it's easier to hear, and we mistake most heard for most worth hearing. We obey, often unconsciously, because the noise drowns out the quiet voices until we forget they exist. And once silence becomes normal, noise becomes authority. There's a deeper psychological reason we obey. Responsibility is heavy. If you follow the loudest voice and they're wrong, you can say, "I was just going along with everyone else." The blame is shared. But if you follow your path and it fails, the blame is yours alone. So we trade the weight of independent thought for the comfort of shared ignorance. Machiavelli understood this centuries after Plato. In The Prince, he observed that rulers keep power not necessarily by being right, but by projecting unshakable authority. Because people want to believe someone else already knows the way. But Plato's warning comes with a challenge. The loudest voice only wins if the wiser voices stay silent. Every time you withhold what you know to be true because you fear being mocked, ignored, or attacked. Every time you let a lie stand because correcting it would be uncomfortable. You give the loudest voice more power. Over time, that power shapes laws, culture, and reality itself. Silence is not neutral. In the face of falsehood, silence becomes consent. Bonhoeffer in the 20th century echoed Plato's insight. Silence in the face of evil is itself evil. Not to speak is to speak. Not to act is to act. The quiet thinkers, the hesitant truth-tellers, the ones who don't want to get involved, they become the enablers of the loud and the wrong. And this isn't just about politics. It's about your workplace, your relationships, your community. Everywhere you let noise win over truth, you invite its rule. Plato wasn't simply warning against bad leaders. He was warning against a bad habit of the human soul. If you always obey the loudest voice, you stop hearing your own. You lose the ability to sit with uncertainty, to wrestle with complexity, to make the hard choice when the easy one is being shouted at you. The solution isn't to become the loudest. It's to resist mistaking noise for wisdom, to listen for the quiet truths that still whisper in the chaos, to train yourself to pause before you follow, because the loudest voice can lead you off a cliff, but only if you walk behind it. This week, notice whose voice you follow without thinking. Ask yourself, do I follow them because they are right or because they are certain? And the next time you hear a quieter voice with something true to say, give it the space the loudest voice has stolen, because the survival of truth has always depended on people willing to hear it. Even when it isn't the loudest thing in the room,